Councilman Gustavson.
Thank you, Mayor. Getting back to the original questions you asked us, I think one of them is, do we think the property is blighted? Do we think it needs to be removed? Yes. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think it needs to be removed a long time ago. And I know that the city has made a lot of contacts with the property owners over quite a period of time to try to accomplish that. Before we were going to go a different direction, and we changed that direction now, which is kind of disappointing to me because I have to agree with everything that's been said about whether we should or shouldn't use the RDA money to pay for somebody's demolition or half of somebody's demolition. It's their responsibility, so I certainly wouldn't support that. Under the other scenario, I even had some questions there, because if we took a lien on the property, we could wait 20 years, 30 years before we received that money. I guess the question I had for the attorney, if we went the other direction and we liened the building, there's no way we can set a time certain when. That was my concern. I didn't think we could. So.
No, you're correct.
Yeah.
It's just when it's sold, then we would get the money.
And I think Councilman Hafen made a good observation. I'd also come up with the same observation. They come up with $8,000. They need to, I think, try to find the other $8,000. I just think the precedent, because we do have a lot of communities, you know, Hardy's Garage down there, a lot of people are complaining that needs to be taken down. I don't know whether it does or it doesn't, but and there's little houses all over the community, and not just along Mesquite Boulevard, all over the entire community. So I think it's a dangerous precedent for us to get involved with, and I certainly wouldn't support that.
Councilman Littman.
I fully agree with George on that, but we're still sitting with a situation of the building. We need to make some sort of a decision as to what to do with it. If nothing else, to board the thing up so it's less of a nuisance. And of course, people come in and break the boarding down, and they're in there the next weekend anyway. The lien, do we gain interest with a lien? Or just strictly what we put out? So we could be sitting with $8,000 for the next forever, so to speak. Yeah.
The original on the lien was for the full amount. It wasn't a lien for half of it. So just a point of clarification there. So it'd be closer to 16.
But we still need to make some kind of a decision as to what to do with it. Otherwise, it just sits and looks worse and worse as the years go on. And I don't believe in using RDA money for this project whatsoever. But we do have to come up with some idea.
Councilman Rasmussen.
I'd like to see the thing torn down too, but I don't want the taxpayer to pay for it. And I, as a taxpayer, don't want to pay for it. That's their responsibility, it's their home. I feel very strongly about that. The lien issue is real troubling to me too. I mean, we improve it, we do $16,000 and it's a lien. At least, yeah, we'll get our money back. But what if it's 10 years from now? And they've got it listed for $99,000 now. It's probably worth 60. I mean, that's just a guess. And what if in 10 years they sell it for $125,000? What do we get back? We get 20, we're 16,000 back. And because we improved it for them, and they decided to hold it for a bull market, they get the incremental windfall. That's not right. That's not how property rights work. So I do nothing is fine with me.
Councilman Haven.
Little legal advice here. We are only considering whether we're going to expand up to $8,000. Is that right? That's the item?
Yes.
Right here? Thank you.
Okay. Councilman Gustavson.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a legal question, and Cheryl, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, because you're probably not, I don't know whether you looked at this or not. What's our other legal options on this? If the building, if it's condemned, the building has to be torn down. What option is there? Can we go ahead and we have to tear it down ourselves and then take the property, or what can we do?
The same thing, Mayor, Council, the same thing applies. We would have to re-agendize it if that's what you want to do.
Right, I
And the
understand.
NRS requires that we have to have findings that it's unsafe, it's nuisance, all of those things. Then it would be torn down, same thing, it would be liened. What our cost was, we would have to lien the property.
If I may, there is a difference here, because we use words a little, and you need to parse them out. There's the word declaring it a nuisance, which then you can lien the property, or you can condemn the property, which means a transfer of ownership. So just to separate those two terms out, there's a big difference between the two of them. Both of those are legal options that you have power to
But
do.
just to clarify, the city has never condemned a
Never.
property that I'm aware of.
Never.
Because
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about the nuisance issue, not the condemning,
Right.
because that takes away the property.
Right. I just want to make sure that point was clear.
Well, just boarding it up, I think doesn't solve the problem. We still have the building there, and it's gonna look like what it looks like. And it is a nuisance because as we know, it has asbestos in it, and needs to be mitigated, right?
There is asbestos in the building,
Yeah.
yes. There's been an asbestos report done.
So it is a hazard, there's no doubt we want people going in there. So something needs to be done about it, but I don't know what our legal options are, but I still agree, I think it's their responsibility. I don't mind RDA funds, anything along there, to give people something to improve their property in a way that it's building on their property or, remodeling their property or something, but that they have, if they have a legal responsibility to do that. I difficult time supporting that.
Thank you, Councilman. Ms. Hunt?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I just wanted to emphasize that the only thing on the council tonight is this particular item. So if the council wants staff to, you can direct in your motion to have staff do some more research, bring you back options, but we would have to bring it back on the regular city council, and it would have to be agendized.
If I may jump in here and add one point, that's if you don't want to use RDA funds. If I'm hearing you correctly, that you want to use general fund, then it goes to the city council. If you want something different, then we can bring it back to the board as an RDA item. And in reality, there really are those three options we've talked about. The fourth would be condemnation, but like I said, we've never done that before. But we kick the tires as much as you can kick the tires on this thing. So if there's a level of city participation, those are our options.